Hey everyone, welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today we're going to be interviewing my good friend and magician Drew Murray. But before we get into that interview, hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. And without further ado, please welcome my friend Drew Murray. What's up, Drew? How you doing?
What's up? Good afternoon, good morning.
Whatever it is.
Whatever time you're watching, yeah.
So with the whole pandemic going on right now, wanted to do this interview in person and at the venue, but we're gonna roll with the punches here. So Drew, can you tell me a little bit, give me some background on what rare magic is?
Yeah, and I'm gonna go back on what you just said a minute ago. I think aside from the health and the economy, all those things are bad. But from a business standpoint, people that are watching this, many of them own their own businesses. I think a challenge like this is the best thing that can happen for a business, because it throws you curveballs like you wouldn't believe it. It forces you to, we keep hearing the word pivot, but it also forces you to recognize where the true value is that you have for your clients. And if they're not calling you right now, it means that you didn't offer them value. So it sort of forces all of us, especially people that are working in event spaces, to think radically different than we were before. So I'm excited to see what people are doing with virtual events and the interactive features and all those things that are happening. To still give value to people and to not, I think we're at the point now, we're about 2 months in, we're at the point now where people are starting to, on the vendor side, really enjoy this new space. They're having more time at home, but they're learning the tech and they're comfortable with it. Now they actually feel that it's not only a crutch that it was before, but it's actually a business asset that they have going forward for who knows how long, even past when the pandemic is over. Yeah, it's just it's a in-person, for now, in-person show that happens every month at a hotel that I partnered with. It's a Marriott branch of the Autograph Collection Hotels. So went in there. The challenges were, from my perspective, the challenges were I wanted to create a experience that had a production level like they wouldn't believe, while of course still keeping the ticket cost somewhat reasonable for a couple. It also had to be something, and this is something I've told a lot of my other magician friends and people that are doing in-person events, when you're working with a venue, and you would know this too as far as cleanup goes, but in my case, when I was working with the hotel, they don't charge me for that space. So I needed to be as invisible as possible on the nights that I wasn't there, meaning I had to have a low profile with my equipment. That means I couldn't ask for 16 extension cords. I couldn't ask for all these different things. So I was looking for a solution that would allow me to go in and out. At the time, I was taking my equipment back and forth from my vehicle to the space. Fortunately, now I have storage space there, but even before, taking a couple cases in and out was a lot of work. So I wanted a really small setup, but something that would have a big impact in that space that I could turn, on and off with almost no time at all. So it wasn't my home, it wasn't my space that I could go in and out of all the time. I needed to be 6-7 hours turnaround from the time I got there to set up, do 2 shows, and tear down at the end of the night. And that's what, the H1s and the other Chauvet products allowed me to do.
And we're not talking about like, a typical hotel ballroom where, you have 100 feet one end and 50 feet on the other, and ceilings are 22 feet high. We're talking about a very, small, intimate space that, I think the ceilings are maybe 9 or 10 feet high. So you're able to, attach your fixtures to the drop ceiling, and you have a very, small space.
Yeah. And well, I'm sure you'll get into that more about the actual fixtures itself, but those H1s, how much power there is, not only in the light itself, but the ability to throw it up on the ceiling, throw it on the floor. And I'll tell you what's funny is I had put them up without talking to the hotel. I knew it wasn't going to do any damage, just magnetized them, that was it. The hotel manager had come in to see the room, and she looks and she says, "Wow, when did we get these installed?" She didn't know that they weren't hardwired in. She thought that, someone from engineering had put them in for me. Right. And I walked up and kind of smiled and just pulled it down. And she says, "Okay, we got to get some of those." So yeah, that's kind of a funny little thing. But the versatility, every night that I go there, to be able to throw those lights up with, again, almost no setup time at all. I have a set place that I put them now just because the show has certain scenes and it's sort of spotted in that way. But the flexibility to on the fly change something and not have to rely on having a bar or having, a piece of truss that's always in a certain spot. It's anywhere you have a metal ceiling grid. And then of course, beyond that with the clips too, you can even do it without metal is so smart and so great.
Yeah. So for you as a mobile entertainer,
yeah.
This channel is usually for, DJs, production company guys. But, Chauvet, I know, is definitely gearing towards the smaller guys and mobile entertainers. What are you looking for in a lighting fixture that is applicable to you and what you need for your needs? Basically, what are you looking for, to adapt to your show or, your mobile shows that you have quick in and outs?
Yeah, I think I'll go into business terms. I mean, time is money, right? So the less time that I can spend learning something, the better it is. And I love how right out of the box, I mean, with a little bit of your help, but even aside from that, I was able to just jump on their YouTube channel, learn, okay, I didn't know anything about DMX. I didn't know anything about programming. I didn't know anything about addressing. And some of that I had to learn with using the Flarecon, but it was so easy. It was so incredibly easy to learn and get up and running. And then the other nice thing, because I use, software that controls the lighting during the show, even if for some reason that software, my computer dies, I know on the fly within minutes using either the remote or just freehand, I know how to make those fixtures work as a static show if I wanted to. So the ability that they can just have the ability to be very dynamic and of course enhance production value, but also just to change it to a static scene. And I can roll with that as a pro. It's so great to have the flexibility there. So what am I looking for from a fixture, from any sort of product that, Chauvet puts out there? I think being able to learn how to use it quickly, because I'm not, no offense, I'm not a tech nerd. I don't like spending 6 hours doing this stuff. I think the one time I FaceTimed you on my floor, I hated that.
Right.
I don't want to sit on the floor and do that. I would rather be performing. I would rather be working with my clients. But I do like knowing how it works. And that was another thing I told to a couple of my other friends that have bought the products after I referred them, is I said, you don't need to be the one operating this, but you should know how every part of it works. And that's what I like about the Chauvet products is I can understand how to troubleshoot pretty quickly if I needed to. And fortunately, I've never needed to.
Right. And I do want to make a note that, I recommended these fixtures to Drew because, he showed me videos, photos of the space and tried to figure out what's the best product for him to use in that space.
Yeah.
And from there, once he got his delivery, I mean, he called me, like he said, maybe once to figure out the DMX. And then once he got that going, it's just, from video to video that he found on, Chauvet's website, he was able to learn. So really, for me, being the tech nerd of, DMX and lighting and all that stuff, he only had to call me once to figure out, oh, this is how it works. Okay, perfect. And
yeah, I really did. I'd say I probably watched maybe 3 videos. I mean, to really get up and running. I did a couple other ones just for fun and because that's what YouTube does to you. But yeah, I mean, to really get to where I am now, and I'll just mention, so the Flarecon, I have the H1s, and then everything goes into QLab in my computer. So that's all that I was using. And initially I was using the Flarecon app too, which was really great initially before I moved everything over to my computer. But yeah, it was so incredibly easy to learn. And what's the other thing I'll mention too, it's so easy to learn that even myself, that I don't understand it as well as you do, I've been able to help 2 other magicians that are doing shows learn how to use their H1s just even quicker than I did. And they're, really appreciative of that too. So yeah, everybody loves it. Everyone I know is telling their friends about them as well.
Right. So just so we can paint a picture for the viewers out there. So you have your H1s in the ceiling, on the ground, and they're talking to the Flarecon. From the Flarecon, you're going into your DMX box that, flips that DMX signal to USB, and you're running it all into QLab, because you're not only running your lighting off that, but you're also running your sound cues and your audio too, or is it just those 2 elements? Yeah,
I'm running my video. I have video playback. I have countdowns that go on the screen. Of course, pre-show slideshows. They're, without giving any of the magic away, I mean, I have a remote in my pocket, that allows me to not only control the lights, controls the audio, controls the video, but that same remote also does a couple of other sneaky things during the show, which that's why I have to use QLab, because QLab allows me to plug it into other areas that some other software didn't. But there's extensions that Magicians designed for QLab, so I won't get into all that.
Right.
But I mean, gosh, like the FlareCon, and then of course taking it into a converter, and then like even a Show Express, I don't know how this isn't putting so many other production teams out of work. Because you're taking the job of 5, 6, 7 people and condensing it down to one machine now. So, I mean, buy more gear, I guess, is what you can do with that extra money. It's really great. I don't know why there aren't more performers going to a solution like what I'm doing. I just don't know why they're not doing it themselves, because they can.
I think they're just not aware, because the technology is changing. Not only do they have, the wireless battery powered fixtures, but now they also have the Bluetooth fixtures that, down the road, I'm going to throw it at you as well.
Sure.
But, in your application, these fixtures, the technology that you're using is perfect, and how you're incorporating it into QLab to run your video, your audio cues, everything all in one push of a button. Like that's awesome, and everything.
Yeah. And I don't know, have you seen the show since I've incorporated everything with QLab?
No. I saw your show the first night that you launched it, and I mean, I was blown away from what you were able to do with that show. But that was even just when everything was static. Like now, and I'll give you an example. One of the things we're doing is I'm using the UV feature in the H1s. So I have a part of the show that is revealed via a UV encrypted message. And what it allows me to do is, with the click of a button, all of my lighting now changes to UV, and everyone's able to see this message, posted out there. And the same thing on their tables, on their program. I'm able to utilize those features so quickly. And again, I'll jump back to like the setup portion. I'm not running cables back and forth, to link my lights. I'm not running DMX down the wall from something else. Everything the whole unit packs into a shoebox. I mean, really, if I wanted to. Yeah. So, and that's what I've done too, is I condensed down, even the cases, the lights, and took the phone cases and put them into one road case now. So my entire lighting setup is smaller than my show setup, which is ridiculous. Genius. So it's so cool. And one last question for you. How did you design it in terms of, laying out the fixtures? Like, how many do you have up in the ceiling? How do you have, up lights around the room? Like, give us some background on that.
Yeah, I know generally, because I took theater in my freshman year of college, and from the work that we do, I'm in a theatrical atmosphere quite a bit, so I understand composition and depth, and I'm not setting up a full interview style video shoot. I'm sure if somebody that's professional lighting designer saw what I would do, they would probably cringe and want to fix things. But the reality is, in the space that I'm in, the time that I have to set up, I wanted to create as much depth and a dynamic feel as I possibly could. So I have 4 uplights behind me. There's the walls there. They sort of have these columns kind of built into the molding. So I've accented those a bit. And then I have, let me think out loud here. So 4 back there. I have 16 lights total, 16 individual units. So then 12 in the ceiling. And about half of those are shining down over the audience. And then the others are shining directly on me. And it's a mix of both like an amber whitewash and then some cooler, blues and purples and things like that. And then the red is typically down on the audience. But I will change the colors of the lights during the show depending on what we're doing. And then the other nice thing, not that I have movers in that space, and of course the H1s don't move, nor do I want them. I don't want them moving on the ceiling with just being magnetized, although they probably could handle it. But what is really cool is I've programmed the lights in such a way that I can have red start over here, and then it moves to the middle, and then it moves to the end, and the blue starts over here, moves to the middle, moves to the end. And friends of mine that come to see the show, they think that I have moving lights because it looks as if the lights are chasing around the room, when the reality is I've just shifted, what color they're going to be from right to left. And we use that a couple times in the show just to create movement. Right. So I think depth, I think movement, and if you get really creative with how you use the lights from a programming standpoint, you can really make it seem as if they have a lot more capability than they really do. So that's what I'm really pleased with about them.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. That's awesome. Again, guys, Drew Murray with Rare Magic. He's down in Columbus, Ohio. So if you're in the Columbus area, check out his website, raremagic.com, drewmurray.com. Any other socials you want to plug in?
It's all the same. Yeah, Drew Murray Magic.
Yeah, so guys, check him out, and we'll be back with another episode of the Lighting Inventory. Hope you guys enjoyed this interview with my friend Drew Murray with Rare Magic.
Do you want to see some magic before we go?
Yeah, let's do it. Come on.
Okay, all right, let's do some magic. So here, we'll do some magic for the people at home, people watching at home.
Awesome.
Sorry, I should have had this prepped, I feel.
No worries. All
right.
Encore.
What'd you say?
A little encore for our viewers.
Yeah. So, all right, this will work for everybody. If you're watching at home, no matter where you are, the magic will happen where you are. I have 5 different playing cards. It's your job to memorize one of those cards. Don't forget, just memorize one. Got it?
Yep.
Cool. Let's see if I can actually read your mind through the powers of the internet. All right, I've pulled out one. I'll show you the remaining 4, and you'll see that your card is completely gone.
Oh my God. It is gone. Holy crap.
Magic! Yeah.
Too good, Drew. Too good.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Thanks, guys. And that was Drew Murray, everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed that interview. I'll leave his information where you can connect with him on social and also on his website in the description below. But again, I just wanted to take this time to address that, no matter who you are, DJ, production, mobile entertainer, it doesn't matter. The technology is out there for you guys to use. And like Drew himself, he was able to take the technology, the advantages of battery powered wireless and magnetic fixtures to throw it up on the ceiling and use it for his show, program it through the FlareCon into his main hub through QLab for his sound, video, and lighting cues, and to be able to produce a show like this. So again, hope you guys enjoyed that interview, and stay tuned to our channel for future videos and interviews like this. Take care.